Good evening. I'd like to call this Mid-State Technical College District Board of Directors meeting to order on this Monday, March 20th, 2023. Angie, could I get a roll call, please?
Betty Brusky Malik,
Yes.
Justin Feltz,
Yes.
Richard Murden,
Yes.
Linnea Miller, Gordon Shallow,
Yes.
Charles Spargo, Ari Vang, Terry Whitmore.
Yes.
Open meeting certification, this March 20th, 2023 meeting at the Mid-State Technical College District Board of Directors and all other meetings of the board and/or its committees is open to the public in compliance with state statutes. Notice of this meeting has been sent to news media and designated persons in an attempt to make the citizens of the Mid-State Technical College District aware of the place, time, and agenda of the meeting. Open forum. The open forum is at the option of the board chairperson, and ground rules have been established to ensure the orderly conduct of business. This is a meeting of the district board open to the public and not a public hearing. Persons who wish to address the district board may make a statement as long as it pertains to a specific agenda item. Individuals should not expect to engage in discussion with the members of the district board. The district board chairperson may or may not respond to statements made. Anybody here? We don't have anybody here tonight. Item E, action on the February 20th board meeting minutes. I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item F, action on the consent agenda item. We have the payment of bills and payroll in Exhibit B, the contracted service agreements in Exhibit K, and procurement of goods and services, Exhibit L. I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor oh, it's a roll call, right? Okay.
Gordon Shallow,
Yes.
Charles Spargo, Terry Whitmore,
Yes.
Betty Brusky Malik,
Yes.
Justin Feltz,
Yes.
Richard Murden.
Yes. And then I would like to ask the board if we could arrange the agenda slightly, since we have a number of people here for the last item of the night, item K, information from the Information Technology Department. We have a number of people here, and I would request if it'd be okay to bump them up in the beginning so that they don't have to endure all of our drudgery.
Go ahead.
Is that okay?
Yep. Okay.
All right, so we'll go right with item K. Brad, you want to kick that off?
Good evening. And thank you as well for moving this up on the agenda. I know it's appreciated, so thank you. I'd like to introduce the Mid-State Board of Directors to our information technology team, as we have some familiar faces as well as some new faces. This team and everyone you see behind ELT supports the many hardware and software applications we have, as well as they work diligently to keep our systems, our data, and information safe. To date, this is the best IT team I believe Mid-State has had since I have been here. This team is comprised of the following people. As I read your name, Information Technology, just please stand for a moment so the board can put a name to a face. And then you can go back to seating if you would, please. I want to first just introduce the team because I'm going to bring in on all what we support and the different applications and similar so that you get a sense of kind of the workings of IT here at Mid-State. I'll start off with Shelly Higgins, our IT director. She is the primary project manager for our enterprise resource planning implementation that we're doing with Anthology.
Our condolences. Or congratulations.
I believe she likes being the project manager. She is also my backup for when I am gone, so anything that needs my attention in my absence, Shelly is authorized to do so. Shelly supports a team, which I would call our enterprise resource planning team. The first one is Travis Ganch. He is our student information system business analyst. Travis. The next person we have is Craig Hersberg, our finance and financial aid business analyst. Followed up with Shane Newman, who is our senior technical analyst, and he supports HR module. Then we have Bob Cummings, our application integration specialist. Thank you, Bob. And this guy can code, so if you ever need anything coding, he's the man. Next, we have our desktop team and application team, and that is led by Philip Lelis, our computer services manager. Philip is just coming up, I think, on a year being here at Midstate, and he was a former computer services technician. We had a retirement with the former computer services manager, and he applied for that position and was awarded it. So welcome, Philip, to Midstate and the position. The position that Philip did hold is now held by Michael Anderson, again, the computer services technology. He did take the position that was formerly Philip's. We also have Ryan Ulbrich, who is our senior computer services technician. Now, Ryan and the next person I'll mention, Lloyd, they took the positions of Travis and Craig because you may or may not know that when we brought on Anthology to be supported in-house, we needed to have positions. And so we were fortunate enough that that Travis and Craig applied for those positions, were offered it, and then we needed to backfill those positions. The next person who is a senior computer services technician is Lloyd Gross. He is unable to be with us this evening. A little bit under the weather. I hear that's going around. We also have Kevin Ham from the desktop team. He is our SCCM administrator, which is a fancy word for administering all of our imaging and patching security on all of our desktops and endpoints. So thank you, Kevin. Then also over here, which you have probably seen before, is Logan Hammond. He is our senior technology support technician, and he came to us not too long ago. He's less than a year as well, and this position was formerly the technology support technician position. So thank you, Logan. Then I have the pleasure also of overseeing Chris Slavy, who is our network administrator. Thank you, Chris. Carl Austin, who is our system administrator, and unfortunately he is under the weather as well, so not able to join us this evening. Then I also have the privilege of working with Mihai Dumitrescu Mihaly, who is our senior network infrastructure engineer. He's, I think, you're probably the most tenured in IT now, so yeah. So thank you, Mihai. And then both Shelley and Philip report to me as well.
So which one is the one we're going to be working with for the two-factor authentication?
Carl Austin, who is unable to be here this evening.
Oh, okay, all right.
Under the weather, yep. So some of the things that IT supports. I asked the team for some information to help me pull this together, but I really find it interesting, so I hope you do as well. So currently we manage 85 servers, of which there's 30 terabytes of storage at our Wisconsin Rapids and Stevens Point sites. There's 280 terabytes of long-term retention storage at our Wisconsin Rapids campus. There's 20 terabytes at the Aspira Simulation Center of data. And there's also 5 terabytes each at the Marshfield and Adams campuses. And a terabyte is just a lot of data. And we have approximately 715 employee accounts that are in our system. This includes part-time employees. We have approximately 11,200 student accounts that we maintain. And a large reason for that is because we retain accounts for students 180 days after the last class they're enrolled in ends. So in case they come back, they don't have to get new email and everything. Their information's there. Plus, we're required by Microsoft to eventually get rid of them because we get free licensing and they want us to be on top of that. We served we had 2,206 help desk tickets last year, of which 1,492 were able to be closed by Midstate staff, and 714 were closed by our Black Belt Help, which is our 24/7. And Black Belt also helps create a lot of those tickets too for the end user. For the network infrastructure side, we have over 104 switches. We have 6 firewalls, 17 routers, 233 access points. That's how we get on the Wi-Fi here. We have a Wi-Fi bridge between buildings, and we have about 23 telepresence rooms. We also have approximately 752 desktops, 667 laptops, 100 iPads, and we support over 148 applications. A Microsoft Office 365 tenant, that's what's in the cloud, and that's where a lot of things are currently moving. Just in that storage alone in OneDrive, we have over 1.1 million files. That's not including what's on our network and files. And then on an average day, there's approximately 1,300 active daily users in our Office 365 tenant. For the last 2 months, we have had over 61,320 logins on our machines, of which equates to over 140,493 hours of total usage. So we can track down to that level. We have approximately 115 classrooms with our gold standard technology. That's where we have the new line monitor on the wall, the Dell touchscreen, and our docking station, and the sign app that we went to many years ago that the board supported as part of that connected experience. We have various conference rooms that we support, an auditorium, and a gym, and similar. And then also we help support the PeopleSoft, which is part of the consortium with Willem, as well as SharePoint, Salesforce, and many other applications. Some of the current projects, aside from what I just mentioned, that we're currently working on, as you already know, one of them is the Anthology Enterprise Resource Planning implementation. We are also currently working on a meta from a design and pre-order standpoint. We've already done some ordering, and we're hoping to do some more in the next month or two so that we can stay ahead of that supply chain issue that we're seeing occasionally. As Greg mentioned, we're just finishing up on budgeting in certain areas, so we've been working on that. We're currently in the midst of our device customization project, which is also known as our Zero Trust or software-defined access project. And that's really, as mentioned, another tool in the tool bag against cyber threats and helping improve and maintain our security. We're moving SharePoint from on-premise to Office 365 in the cloud. We are utilizing Genetec. We'll be moving our current badge pass system for students into Genetec. That's a current project that we have going on. We have a hardware refresh installation. We just submitted orders for laptops and desktops to have them in place so that we're ready to go and hit the ground running this summer with installs. We also are in the planning stages and in testing in some areas with pre-Windows 11 testing. And then also, we are ongoing computer imaging, patching, and troubleshooting. We put our security patches on a minimally a monthly basis, if not more frequent, depending upon the threat of the security item. I know I'm probably missing something from some of the areas, so I apologize, IT, if I missed anything. But I do want to let the board know and IT that I'm really proud of this team and everything that we're able to do, everything that we're able to support, the level of customer service we provide our end users. And I certainly couldn't do it alone. I really need this team, and I appreciate everything that they do. And yeah, I just want to say great job, and thank you, IT.
Now I can clap? Now we can clap?
So Brad, in layman's terms, what's a Wi-Fi bridge?
Wi-Fi bridge is, we have the diesel building over here that we put up a few years ago.
Yeah,
And that's to help us get internet or networking from the building where we have fiber ran in a network over to that new building. Is that correct, Mihai?
Pretty much, yes.
He's
Okay.
still,
It's a communication between two buildings without a wire.
Yep.
So we do it over wireless.
okay.
That provides everything for like telephony, access HVAC controls, access controls for doors.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Other questions? All right, thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I have a question.
Oh,
Oh.
question.
One more.
Sorry, Brett. I know during COVID, we made an effort to help students by providing some laptops or iPads. I'm just wondering what percentage of the end users that you're supporting are represented by the student body as opposed to staff?
I would say of the 667 laptops that we have, what, Phil, about 300 maybe for students? 200? 200. So probably
Okay.
about, yeah, a quarter of that.
Thank you.
Yep. Other questions?
That's it.
We'll wait till you get up again.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for that, allowing us to change the agenda a bit. Then we'll move on to the chairperson's report, and I have Shelley's report here that she asked me to relay.
What, aren't you gonna do yours?
What?
Aren't you gonna do yours?
Oh, yeah, okay, that's, okay. Thank you for joining us this evening. Linnea and Ari are asked to be excused. Effective February 21st, Kristen Krass has announced her resignation from the Mid-State Board. On behalf of the board and college, we wish to thank Kristen for her many years of service to our students and communities. A card is being passed around for Kristen. Spring Boards Association meeting will be held April 20th to the 22nd at Gateway Technical College in Kenosha at, what is that, the goofy hotel name?
Stella.
At the Stella. Betty, Chuck, and I plan to attend. If anyone else is interested in attending, please make arrangements with Angie. The ACCT Leadership Congress will be held October 9th through the 12th in Las Vegas. So Chuck, you can just stay there. The Congress theme is building a legacy, uplifting student and transforming communities. Anyone interested in attending should contact Angie to make proper arrangements. Board Advance with all the recent changes in board members and need to go back out for appointment of 2 individuals. Would you please lead discussion around hosting a board advance or holding off? Is there any preference?
Holding off.
Holding off, I would agree, until we get settled down in membership. Anybody else opposed to that? Okay. Next meeting date. Next meeting will be held on Monday, April 17th. We'll meet at the Adams campus, so plan for that. Committee of the whole will begin at 5 with the regular meeting to follow. Okay, now the president's update. All right. So this is from Shelley. We've had several campus activities since our last board meeting. We hosted the Regional Department of Workforce Development Winning with Wisconsin event on February 24th at our Wisconsin Rapids campus. What a compliment to Midstate that we were asked to host. On March 2nd, she was asked to be guest speaker for a nonprofit class being held at our Stevens Point campus, where she spoke about strategic planning and the value of it. It's always nice when she's able to get back into the classroom. On March 3rd, they held a one-day strategic planning session for the Marshfield campus to discuss the new lease space along with other opportunities for the Marshfield area. We're hoping to be in the new lease space by June 1st. The Marshfield area is an area we are going to have some focused attention on because many opportunities have been noted and we want to pursue there. On March 7th, they held an annual spring program showcase, which brought over 700 high school. Okay, okay, all right.
Good
I
thing
was,
you can help him.
yeah, I was pausing there. 700 high schools were brought here. 700 high school students to the Wisconsin Rapids campus. On that same day, they hosted Paget Equipment, a local employer out of the Marshfield area who brought in some of their management team to learn more about our offerings. On March 9th, Mickey, our interim director for the Midstate Foundation, had her first meeting with the foundation board. It was a time for Mickey to get to know the foundation members and for them to get to know Mickey. Nikki's currently assessing where she thinks the foundation is, and then we'll work with her to carry out the foundation planning. On March 15th, they had their annual Ag Farm Tour, which is something that comes out of our Marshfield campus. They had 100 individuals attend, and do you know where that was?
It was Eagles Club.
Oh, at the Eagles Club. Okay, yeah, I was there last year. Other college business. She's happy to be able to bring the capital equipment budget to us tonight for next year. There have been a lot of good conversations about it. They've named their new executive dean, which was the position Chris Severson, who is
Which
was,
by Deb.
is in who will be moving to Deb Stenzel's position. Okay, I got it now. Okay. Susan Rathy, who has been a longtime faculty member and our current Dean of General Education has accepted the position. All right, got it. She scheduled the spring college conversations where she spends time at all the campuses for staff to come and meet and share updates and ask questions. And for the Wisconsin Technical College System President Association activities, she was in Green Bay last week for the state board meeting and president's meeting. At the state board meeting, the board approved a 1.9% tuition increase and approved WTCS grants for next year, where we did very well for those grants. We will be providing you an update on those soon. The president's meeting was made up of committee and special assignment updates. And that completes her report. Now on to committee reports. For finance and infrastructure, we have Gordon.
Thanks, Richard. If the board could pull out your pages 27 through 30. I'm going to start out with Exhibit M. Notifications for February facilitate changes related to grants and COVID relief budgets. These changes will increase the overall revenue, $67,675, and expense budgets of $67,675. The general fund notification is grant-related with the amount of $5,000 being related to the WTCS Emergency Assistance Grant. The special revenue notification is COVID-related activities. This pretty much takes care of the funding we receive for the COVID. Page 28 portrays our current budget by fund reflecting budget notifications just mentioned. We pretty much came to a conclusion today that there wasn't a major change from the budget from last month, so I think the one note, and it was discussed earlier, is the fact that you see on page 30, our cash and investments is a total of $34.2 million. So again, on a financial side, the college is doing really well. So I want to look into the finance and infrastructure meeting we had earlier today. This was at 3 o'clock. We met with the leadership group and Betty attended as well. At 3 p.m., we went over the 2024 capital budget request. College staff reviewed their fiscal year 2024 capital budget items and provided additional information of the major projects, including a listing of items slated for purchase during the 2024 fiscal year. The tentative financing plan was also provided for the sources of funds to acquire the items at the full board for approval. To recap the request, the college staff is requesting $6,031,000 consisting of equipment, technology, and new construction. This will be funded by $6 million of general obligation debt and serviced by our debt service fund. The preliminary financing information provides a stable debt service levy for the upcoming years. Did we have that information to be, do you have that at your desk?
Yes. we have that. We have that.
So all of us should have received one of those. And I know when we were in our meeting today, I had questioned, and I can see why we have an IT team that we do. You can see with a total technology budget is $3,756,000, and we went into quite detail of the services. The ones that you see in the light blue are like new or starting of a new calendar year of use. Does anybody have any questions or anything that you see on either side of the page provided?
So Proof Point, that's, is that a vendor for cybersecurity?
That is the name of the
Bless you.
Bless you.
email appliance that we put as part of that helps better protect our email from malicious email and spam phishing.
Okay.
Any other questions? Chuck, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Nope, everything was explained very well during our meeting earlier, and I think we need to take action on it today. I'd make a motion to approve if that's in order.
And we
Sure.
do need a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? One question I have is this. So the $156,000 for academics for the simulation center, what would that be?
That would be at our Rapids.
Yes. So recently, there's been a GASB change in the way we can handle our leases. And so we can use capital funds to pay for capital leases. Simulation Center is one of those items. We were paying that out of our operational budget for the Simulation Center down at the Aspirus Riverview Hospital. And so we're looking at moving that over to the capital fund and using capital dollars to fund that lease.
Okay, thank you.
Anything
pretty-
else?
Sorry, Greg. This pretty much keeps us consistent with what our borrowing has been the
Right.
last 5 years, so.
Any other discussion? There's a motion and a second. Angie, a roll call?
Yes, Charles Spargo,
Yes.
Terry Whitmore,
Yes.
Betty Brusky Malik,
Yes.
Justin Fels,
Yes.
Gordon Shallow,
Yes.
Richard Murden.
Yes.
One last item, the date and time of our special fiscal year 2024 budget meeting of the Finance and Infrastructure Committee is scheduled for May 3rd at 3 p.m. If you could just let Angie know if you plan on attending, that would conclude my report, Richard.
Okay, thank you. Academic and Student Services Committee. Who do we have for that?
I'm taking over for Ari this
Okay.
evening. We had a committee of 2 attending our meeting this, later this afternoon. We had no consent agenda items. And regarding academic programming, Dr. Deb Stensel reported to us and is asking for a suspension of a program, the Farm Business and Production Management Technical Diploma. This program has been on the books or in service since May of 1973. We think that's probably one of the oldest programs that was still being held here at Midstate. This program was designed to fulfill the FSA loan requirements and/or to help students gain specific agricultural knowledge. In the last 15 years, 23 students graduated from this program. In the last 3 years, only 10 students expressed interest in the program, and there are currently no active students in the program. Student and advisory committee members help to create another educational option where these courses are offered through a continuing educational model. Students who are enrolling in this continuing educational model, which allow for cost savings, increased flexibility, and the ability to evolve course options as new subjects emerge within the industry. The Agricultural Advisory Committee supports this change and agreed back in December of 2022 to discontinue the program. So I would move for, and I would ask Midstate to approve suspending the Farm Business and Production Management Technical Diploma at this time.
So there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call?
Terry Whitmore,
Yes.
Betty Brusky Malik,
Yes.
Justin Feltz,
Yes.
Gordon Shallow,
Yes.
Charles Spargo,
Yes.
Richard Murden.
Yes.
Now, our second item, the Fire Service Certification Technical Diploma, was asking for program approval, and it was approved by the state system last week. In December, we approved this 16-credit technical diploma program. This program will replace the Fire Technician Embedded Technical Diploma and the Fire Protection Technician Associate Degree Program. It was approved last week by the State System Board. They are going to request HLC approval and anticipate starting this program in the fall of 2023 or spring of 2024. We have submitted a grant to the Legacy Foundation to support the purchase of additional fire gear that will outfit fire academies in the high schools. So no action needs to be taken on that item. It's just more informational. The third one is the Dental Assistant Technical Diploma. Through connections with a local dental clinic, Family Health Center of Marshfield, we've learned that there is a shortage of dental assistants in our district and our state. Dental assistants are the integral members of the dental health team, providing chairside assistance and conducting lab procedures under the direction of a dentist. Our economic modeling software identified 76 dental practices in the Mid-State District who employ dental assistants. An employer survey was administered with 20% of the businesses responding. Respondents reported that they employ 87 full-time and 19 part-time dental assistants at a pay range of $15 to $21 per hour. 92% reported that they would hire a graduate of this program. They project having up to 36 full-time openings and up to 28 part-time openings in the next year, the next 3 years, and the next 5 years. We are planning to offer this program as a cohort-based program, allowing up to 8 full-time students to complete 16 credits over a 6-month period, offering 2 cohorts per year. And Midstate is working with the Family Health Center to develop a partnership arrangement to offer the program at the dental clinic in Marshfield. They have offered the use of their dental clinic for our students' labs and our clinical experiences. Midstate will support this program through our operational budget and is investigating grant opportunities to support the launch of this program as well. Our goal is to start this program in January of 2024. And I would move approval of the concept for the Dental Assistant Technical Diploma Program at this time.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Angie, roll call?
Betty Brusky Malik.
Yes.
Justin Feltz.
Yes.
Gordon Shallow.
Yes.
Charles Spargo,
Yes.
Terry Whitmore,
Yes.
Richard Murden.
Yes.
And any questions, Dr. Deb is here to answer about the programs. And if not,
Sounds like a great program.
it is, it's gonna be. And then we go up to Dr. Mandy Lang. She had a couple of items. The First one was student activity fees, and we talked about this last month in our committee meeting. And she went back to the, who did she go back to? She talked with the leadership board, the student leadership board, and the college is seeking approval to increase the student activity fee. Each state college has a student activity fee that is a percentage of tuition and is used to fund student activities and security. The percentage is set by each local board. Mid-State's current fees is at 6%. We also found out we have 18 clubs, which is a pretty good amount, and we've had very good student engagement with these clubs. As mentioned last month, our next step would be to talk to the Student Leadership Board, which they did. They shared that they would like to see the fee increase to 7% instead of the 6.5% to further support the student clubs, activities, and security. Mid-State is recommending that we do this over a two-year period, totaling 6.5 for 2024 and a 7% starting in 2025, so the cost isn't too much at once for the students. Currently, the fee is $8.77 per credit, which would go up 73 cents to $9.50 at the 6.5%, and another 73 cents the following year to $10.23 at the 7%. So that would be our motion. We agreed in committee that we would approve the college's recommendation of the 6.5 for 1 year and a 7% increase for 2025. So that's my motion.
Second.
Well, we have a second and a
Question?
third. Is this a roll?
Question?
Question? Yes.
I know this can vary college by college, but do we have any idea how this compares with the other colleges in the state? The technical colleges specifically?
Yes, they range anywhere from about 5% to 9%.
Thank you.
So we're right in the middle,
Thank you.
Thanks, Chuck. Also, Dr. Mandy Lang gave us an update
Wait,
about the.
we wanna.
Oh, we motion.
We got a
Roll
roll call
call.
on that.
Justin Feltz,
Yes.
Gordon Shallow.
Yes?
Charles Spargo,
Yes.
Harry Whitmore,
Yes.
Betty Brusky Malik.
Yes.
Richard Murden.
Yes.
We also had an informational item from Dr. Mandy Lang, and you have a copy at your desk. The Winter Room 2023 overview. The Winter Room is a 3-week session between fall and spring semesters that starts right after the new year. We had 57 classes this year, 451 students this year compared to 415 last year, 32.5 full-time and compared with 31.9 last year. 86% course completion, which is 6% higher than the college average throughout the year. And one last item is, there at the end of the meeting tonight, we have an optional tour across the hall of the Cougar Cave Student Life Center.
Nice.
So that's after our meeting.
Okay.
And that completes our report.
Thank you. On to the Human Resources and External Relations Committee, which I'll report on. We did not have any consent agenda items, informational items. We had the Wisconsin Technical College System requires that each of the colleges have an affirmative action plan. And it's a 5-year plan, and the current one spans 2019 to 2024. And so that group is working on the next 5-year plan. It looks at sex, disability, and race, and compares it to the general population from 16 to 64. And basically what they're looking for is, are there any gaps? What are those gaps? And then the plan would propose actions to remedy anything that needs to be remedied. And in looking at the data from the employee perspective, there's an overrepresentation of female gender within the employees, but that's not of concern. We are underrepresented in those with disabilities. In total, by race or ethnicity, there's a deficiency there or less than the standard population, as well as this Hispanic population. So those are three examples of where specific actions may be taken to any job postings to specifically target areas that may address those constituencies. And then from the student side, the one thing that stood out was that compared to the general population within the Mid-State District, it's 5.6% minority, but the student population is 10.3%. So doing extremely well in terms of getting minority students into the program. However, conversely, their graduation rate is less than the total enrollment. So that's an opportunity there in terms of what might be done to help retain them through to graduation. So that's an example of the affirmative action plan. Mid-state awards, this is a great idea. So in terms of camaraderie, building team, and recognizing success and recognizing excellence, the college is planning on their version of the Oscars. It's called the Gritties. Grit being the mascot, so the name of the awards will be the Gritties.
Oh, great.
And the categories will be Best New Faculty of the Year, being here 3 years or less, Best Faculty of the Year, Best New Faculty of the Year, then Best Faculty of the Year, could be the same person, Part-Time Faculty of the Year, Staff Member of the Year, Supervisor Manager of the Year, Team Department Committee of the Year, Innovation of the Year, Workforce and Economic Development Trainer of the Year, and the President's Eye Care Champion Award. And the call for nominations are going out mid-April. They're due mid-May, and the executive leadership team will determine the winners, and the awards will be presented at the fall in-service. So that should be very, very fun and very interesting. And the third item we had was Mid-State once again hosted the Heart of Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce Spring Legislative Breakfast in the Gourmet Cafe. There were approximately 55 chamber members and local government representatives in attendance. 3 local legislators attended. Senator Pat Teston, who's on the Joint Finance Committee, so his ear is one we like to bend. Representative Scott Krug and Representative Nancy Vandermeer. They all attended, as well as Betty and I, Craig Bernstein and Brenda Hudak and Bobby. It was a very good discussion. Any candidate or existing representative was asked to, if they had anything to say or wanted to discuss anything. So we had some really good discussions with our representatives. We were complimented on the agility of the Wisconsin Technical College system. After that session, we met with the executive leadership team, met with those 3, Teston, Krug, and Vandermeer separately. And through the general session and through that session, we heard many, many times that the $7 billion so-called budget surplus is not $7 billion. When you take out all the one-time monies and you take out everything else, the amount that's actually there to look at where we might prioritize the spending as a state is $2 to $2.4 billion, with a lot of priorities in there. So many times they talked about we should be expecting modest increases. We heard that many times. But we also heard that they're very, very happy with the technical college system performance and Mid-State specifically. Again, our agility, our ability to meet employers' needs. So a very good session. And I think this is something Angie probably could share out, but they did have This year, they have a number of listening sessions. None are really close to us at all. But for the first time, they are allowing online perspective on the budget. So there's a website where you can go on as a Wisconsin constituent and state your priorities for state funding. So that's a good new addition to that process. And then looking at committee of the whole, we had an update on the Ameta project. And we are very, very excited to hear that April 3rd is a date when they are currently planning on moving the dirt on April 3rd. And we had a budget or project summary between all of the building funds and then all of the equipment within the building. You know, a $20 million project with roughly 88% coming from partners in this project. So very, very exciting to hear that, and very exciting to see all the employers involved, all the businesses involved in all the different parts of the building. What a wonderful, wonderful project. Very proud of the executive leadership team and the whole college for what they've done here. And that's all we have tonight. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, thank you very much.